This is Mark from retiredlures.com. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about materials that lures are made out of. The first two lures I'm showing you, the first one is actually made out of rubber. It was a very early lure, probably from the early 1900s. What happens to rubber when it's this old, it actually gets really hard and a lot of people mistake it and think that it's made out of wood. The second lure, that's a red and white one, is actually made out of cork, and this one was patented in 1905. Cork was also a very common material that was used for very early lures. We'll scroll down and go to the next one here. This one is actually made out of glass. And it's hard to read the name on it, but this actually mentions the date of 93 on there, I believe. And that actually is 1893. Glass was also fairly commonly used in early lures because plastic really wasn't invented yet. We'll scroll to the right here. You know, metal lures are pretty hard to date. A lot of them will have the dates on them. Here's two examples. One of them is kind of like a copper or brass-like material, and it has a patent date on it of 1870 or 1871. And the other one has a more nickel material and has a date of 1874 on it, I believe. Well, the big difference between these two is the bottom one is about correct. That's about when that lure was manufactured, and it can be worth quite a bit of money. The one above it, even though it has an early date on it, had that date on for many years, even way into the 1940s and 50s. So that lure isn't worth near as much. In fact, it's worth under $10. We'll scroll up a little bit. Here's two more lures. Both are kind of like a copper-like material or brass-like material. One is a red-eye wiggler, which is fairly common, which has been around for many, many years. And the other one is actually a buhl lure. B-U-E-L, and the difference between these two is almost the same. They don't have patent dates as the first ones, but they don't have the patent dates on them. But the one on the left is very early, probably late 1800s, probably around 1880 or so. That lure was first patented in 1852, and the other lure is probably from about the 1940s, 1950s, so quite a bit later, even though they both look quite old. Metal lures, to go up to the next one. Everybody, when they think of metal lures, they think that they always are shaped like spoons and that, but not all the time. Here's one that's actually shaped like a frog, called the spoony frog. And if we scroll to the right, there's another lure called the Do Get 'em, which actually there was a few lures that were actually made out of metal that are actually rounded or can have spinners on and things like that. And the last one that we'll show you, it's actually a metal lure, which actually has glass eyes. People think that the metal lures didn't have real glass eyes, but this is an example of one.
For more information, check out www.retiredlures.com.